Hey everyone, and welcome to our first section of Chapter 2. This is the real number line. We're going to be taking a look at numbers and how they work and how they're placed in number lines and how they're arranged. The first thing we're taking a look at here is real numbers, and these are numbers that can be displayed on a number line. And we see that here every real number is either positive, negative, or zero. These are numbers that we can use every day in our lives. And we actually have another term for that. It's called integers. And integers are just whole numbers. That's what they basically are. They're just whole numbers. Uh, any positive or negative that's a whole number. So like -3, -2, -1, 0. These are all integers. 1, 2, and 3. So those are just some examples of integers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be plotting some points. We're actually going to graph them on a number line. And in this example here we have -2, 0, and 3. And we're just going to take those and put a little dot on the number line. Now, just be careful. We're not putting it above the number line. So if I'm looking for -2, which is right here, I'm not putting my dot up here, and I'm not putting it down here or over here. I'm putting it right on the cross of the number line and the mark on it. So that's -2. 0 is going to be easy. Again, 0 right on the line, right where they cross. Nice big dot. And then finally, number 3 is going to be right there. So let's bump to the next one. This one says graph -3, -2, 2, 3, and 5. And that's what we're going to do here now. So -3 is first, and I'll find it just by locating it right here. So there's -3. Next one's -2. Next one here is 2. And then 3. And then up here is 5. Now the bottom of this says write an inequality for -3 and 2. So you're saying which one is greater and which one is less than is what we're working for. So remember, up here on the right side, these are all the numbers that are greater than. So the more right you get, the greater they are. And if you move to the left, those are lesser values. So if you're not sure and you're using a graph, you can just look at the graph and say, well, anything to the right of a dot is greater. Anything less than that should be up to the left. So if I'm looking at -3 here, and I have 2, and I'm trying to decide, well, which one's greater, I can obviously just look at the graph and say, well, my bigger number is located to the right of -3, so right here. So that means that 2 must be greater than, so my inequality is written right there. And I need to bump back a bit to the first one here. I'm going to write the inequality for the first one. I missed it. Again, we have -2 and 3, so which one's bigger? Again, it's 3 because -2 is to the left of 3. Missed a little bit there on my line. But you can see 3 is greater than -2 just by looking at the number line. Alright, next thing on our list is this one here. So now we got some decimals to take a look at, but that should be okay. -0.8. I see that right here on this part of the line. Next one is 0.1. So these are in every 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 form. We don't write it, but it's there. So that's that. Now we have positive 1.5. So that's actually, here's 0.1 right here. So 0.15 is going to be actually between 0.1 and 0.2. So this will be 0.15. And I'll put a dot here. And then finally, 4/7. Now 4/7 is going to be tricky because we're using a decimal scale here, and that's a fraction. So what I'm going to do is pull out the calculator and just do a simple 4 divided by 7, and I get a 0.57. We'll just round it to that. 0.57 equals 0.57. So we kind of know where that is on our line now. So here's 0.5. Between 0.4 and 0.6, so all I really have to do is just say, well, 0.57 is going to be somewhere in the middle, probably right around here. So that's going to be 4/7. Now we're asked to write an inequality. Which one's bigger, 0.15 or 4/7? Looking at the graph that we have now, we see that, okay, well, 0.47 is to the right of 0.15, so that means that 0.15 is going to be less than 4/7, just like that. And we're going to see the same thing here. We're plotting some more points. We do see some fractions. So negative 2 is going to be right around here. Positive 4, right up here on our number line. There's 0. Next one's 1.5. So 1.5 is going to be, again, between 1 and 2. It's 1.5. So here's the dot for 1.5. Now here's 1/2. If I convert that to a decimal, 1/2 equals 0.5. So that's going to be between 0 and 1, which is right here. 0.5, that's also 1/2. I'll write that above it, just so we know. And our last one here is going to be negative 3/2. That translates to negative 1.5. So that's between 1 and 2. So that's what this is right here, negative 1.5. So negative 3/2 is where that is. And there's your dot. So we were out of order, but now that the question asks us to write the numbers in ascending order, that's from least to greatest. So we can go down through and say, okay, negative 2 is the smallest. And then negative 3/2 is the next one. 0. Let's see, 1/2. That was our fraction form. We can't write it in decimal. That wouldn't be right. 1.5, or actually that's, I don't know, that's 1.5. And 4. So there's your values listed from increasing order. So 0 all the way, or smaller number all the way up. Right like that, using the number line. Next example, we have 2 here with the chart. It says graph the temperature on the number line, and you see the day here, the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd of December, which isn't far away. So 18th of December was the negative 10 degrees. So it was pretty cold. We're right here. 11 degrees, negative 11 degrees, so even a little colder. Negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit. Next one is going to be 16 degrees. So that was a nice big swing right up here. (16 degrees Fahrenheit). Next one is 3 degrees. Be about right there. And lastly, 2 degrees, which is going to be just right about here. 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I asked which day was the coldest, so we're going to go and look at the farthest one to the left, and that's going to be right here. That's our coldest. And the coldest happened on the day that there was a negative 11 degrees, so that would be December 19th. Okay, so that's that, and we got one more just like it. This one says pretty much the same thing, February 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. Here's some temperatures. What is the warmest day? So let's go and we'll plot. Negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, that'll be right here. Next one's negative 11, so that's going to be about right there. 20 degrees. The next one, up here on the number line, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. 17 would be next. Oh, you're right here. And finally, negative, back down again. It's another cold day, negative 15. So what is the warmest day? Well, the warmest day looks like it's going to happen whenever it is about 20 degrees out. Right here, there's the warmest day. And the day that happened is right here, at February 24th. Okay, so that is the end of that section. I thank you so very much for watching. I didn't think it was a very difficult lesson. We're just working and plotting numbers on number lines. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks again, and have a great day.